I made a lead magnet for my blog in 10 minutes with AI, and I'm going to show you how I did it today. It was super easy. All I used was ChatGPT, Claude, and a Google Sheet, and then we made magic together, and here we are. So if you're a blogger or writer, you know that lead magnets are an amazing way to grow your audience. You give someone a free gift, which gives them a ton of value, and in exchange, you get their email address. But the problem is, lead magnets take a lot of time to make, and they kind of bleeping suck to make too, to be honest. But luckily, AI changes everything. So instead of writing something from scratch, I actually got AI to look at my past viral notes and create 25 viral note templates that I could give to my audience in like 10 minutes. Let me show you how I did it. So our journey starts here in ChatGPT. I actually asked it, I'm thinking of creating a free gift download for my audience after they become free subscribers. I would love to use it as a lead magnet in future emails as well. What do you think the gift should be? Now, here's the thing that I want you all to understand. ChatGPT already knows a lot about me. I talk to it all the time. I talk to it every day about many different things. And so before you're about to ask it what you should give people as a free gift, go ahead and just tell it everything about your business. Record your voice and talk to it for 30 minutes if you need to, and transcribe that voice audio via otter.ai or any other AI tool that you want. If you have a MacBook Air, you can actually press the F5 key and you can start to record your voice and it will auto transcribe for you directly in the message window here. For example, let's do it right now. Hello, there we go. You can see that happening right now. Great. Okay. So you can do that. And you can just talk to ChatGPT about what you do, what your business is, what you make money from, etc. And it will go ahead and give you a bunch of ideas for free gifts, right? Now, ChatGPT was very smart and it gave me a bunch of different ideas. It knows that I love to write Substack notes and give people advice on Substack notes. So it said stuff like the 5-day note challenge or a viral note starter kit. Great stuff, right? But the one that I really liked the most was actually number 5, steal these 25 notes. So I love to give people note templates because I think it's just a good structured version of teaching people things while they get to write their own stuff. And so I decided to go with that one. Now, I don't necessarily love how ChatGPT writes half the time. I love it for strategy. So I actually switched to Claude to finish this up. So what I did was I went to Claude, and if you'll take a look here at the top left, you'll see that I have Second Brain Writer up here. Let's just click into that. I've actually kind of cloned myself with AI with this Claude project. I have fed it all of my notes archives, LinkedIn posts, Medium posts, Substack posts, and I've created style guides based on how I typically write short form and long form content. I mean, my Medium archive by itself has over 1,000 blog posts. So I basically just asked ChatGPT a couple questions about how I typically write to create a style guide for me. And now it writes like myself, basically. It's kind of insane. That's very relevant context for this. Now let's go to my Coda document here. Now, if you take a look here, I actually have a kind of like a CSV file of all of my notes that I've ever written. I have the date, I have the URL, so it opens it up to that specific note. I have the full note text here, and I have the likes, comments, restacks, and everything of that nature. So what I did was, I actually downloaded this as a CSV and I plugged it into Claude, my Claude project, and now it has access to this CSV file of all the notes I ever wrote, and along with all the likes and comments and all that kind of stuff. So let's go back to this initial thread. I asked it, is there any way you can take a look at my most viral notes in the Project Knowledge Bank and create a list of 20 viral note templates to share with my audience? And it did. So what it did was it actually took a look at, it analyzed my data from my Substack Notes CSV file that I uploaded to the Project Knowledge, and it created this list of 20 viral Substack note templates. Okay. So let's just take a look at it here. So it took this note, right? And then it made a fill-in-the-blank template, and I really liked it. I actually really liked version 1 of this. but I wanted to change certain things. And here's something that you can take away for yourself. You can get AI to just generally give you a basic idea of what the free gift will look like, and then you can talk to it. You can say, I like this, I don't like this. Can you change this? Can you make this more pronounced? Like whatever. And it will actually do that for you. So I wanted less of like a fill in the blank type template, as you can see here. I wanted it to be a little bit more loosey-goosey so people could, in general, just use it in a bunch of different ways. So what I did was I scrolled down and I told ChatGPT a little bit of what I wanted. So I said, we're probably 50% of the way there. I want to work with you on making sure that the templates are a bit less fill in the blanks and a little bit more open-ended. So I said, okay, for example, don't do this. I want you to do this, right? So one of the things I wanted to add to this was, an idea generator. So I wanted to get Claude to ask the audience certain questions that would hopefully prompt an idea for that particular note template that they were going to use, right? So I asked it to include that as well. And I also wanted it to include like a little bit of a lesson at the very end of each template so they could learn something from this freebie, rather than just kind of copy paste stuff and just like mindlessly, write notes for the heck of it. I wanted to teach them great writing principles here. So it did a great job. If we scroll down, we'll see that this is a little bit less fill in the blanky, right? And then we also have this idea prompt and the aftercare, which is the writing lesson. Okay, so it kind of gave me an example of what one of them would look like to get my feedback. And then I went down and I wanted it to add in a target word count for people. And I also wanted it to add in more notes from my personal writing. So less notes about writing and more notes about, just my personal life to base templates on, so that people who write about personal stuff or their personal lives could also use these templates. So it did a great, fantastic job. It just basically asked me, do you want me to go ahead and make this whole 45 note template document? And I said, yes, let's do it. And it did, right? So it made this huge document for me. And it was just perfect. You can go ahead and press copy here and save as PDF. And after I downloaded it as a PDF, it was ready to get inserted into my free gift funnel. If you look at me down here in the bottom right, I wanted to just say a couple things here. Number one, you can mine a lot of the stuff that you've already created in terms of content, in terms of internal resources, in terms of even your own online courses. You can mine a lot of that stuff to create like a light version of it for a free gift for people, which is basically what a lot of us do online anyway. And you can use this process if you prompt ChatGPT and Claude correctly, if you give it enough information about who you are, and if you are able to really kind of package everything that you've done online, whether it's online courses or notes or written content, you can use that to create freebies for people in the blink of an eye. This took me literally all of 10 minutes. I'm serious. And in the past, this would have taken me 10 plus hours to create 45 viral note templates, probably even more than that. It looks like this process took a short amount of time and it was just easy, flimsy, basic. But the reality is I had very dense records of everything that I've made so far online. And that really did like 90% of the legwork to get me to this point where I can make a freebie very quickly, right? So if you don't have these records, if you don't have these foundational principles and just like all the records of what you typically think about things and your expertise, then this isn't going to work for you so quickly. The key is to really compile everything you've done, compile everything that you teach people, and then use that as the basis for giving people the freebie. Okay. So I hope that kind of helps you. I hope that gives you some ideas for how you can make freebies of your own. And I hope that video was enjoyable for you. I hoped you liked that tutorial. If you want more AI tips and guides and insights hot off the press, subscribe to my Substack called Scale Yourself with AI. The link is in the description. And if you want more video tutorials like this, go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel. It won't hurt. I promise. See you next time.